In this example, we're given the weight of an object in both newtons and pounds, and we're asked to determine its mass. Now, even though the example says this is weight, it wouldn't need to say that, because the unit newtons and pounds means weight. You need to get very used to determining whether an object's mass or weight is given by simply looking at the units. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, we're going to use our equation weight equals mass times g. Well, we know the weight, 672 newtons. We don't know the mass, but we do know g, 9.8 meters per second squared. I've got to use meters per second squared here because we're in the metric system. Newtons is metric, so meters per second squared needs to be used. We can solve for mass by just dividing both sides of the equation by 9.8 meters per second squared. So we have mass is 672 newtons divided by 9.8 meters per second squared. To see how the units work out, we need to replace newtons with its definition. Remember, a newton is defined as kilogram meter per second squared. So I'm going to replace the newton unit with its definition, kilogram meter per second squared. Now we see that the meters cancel and the seconds squared cancel, so the only thing left is kilograms. When we work out the numbers, we get 69. We're limited to two significant figures because 9.8 has only two significant figures. So the mass is 69 kilograms. Now that's not the end of the example because the example also wants the mass in slugs. Now we could just convert from kilograms to slugs, but I'm going to use my equation again, weight equals mass times g. But this time, since my weight is in pounds, I'll simply use the English unit for g. So the weight is 151 pounds. We don't know the mass, but we know g is 32 feet per second squared. Then we divide both sides by g, and we find out that mass is 151 pounds divided by 32 feet per second squared. To make the units cancel properly, I'll go ahead and replace pounds with its definition, slugs feet per second squared. And once again, we see that feet cancel and seconds squared cancel, so the mass ends up being 4.7 slugs. Now this is a pretty easy example, but I wanted to go through it because you will be using this equation over and over again. You have to get very comfortable converting weight to mass or mass to weight. You'll see this over and over again in many physics problems.